Hi, welcome to Emily Talks. This is Emily. I'm going to do a quick video about the spiral of integration. I talked about this in one of my other videos, but I want to make some of my concepts a little bit more approachable and neat and compact for, the things that can't quite fit into a short but deserve their own space. So thank you so much for joining me for a topic that I've already covered. If you haven't already seen the video that it's in, I'm going to link it down in the description. I don't remember it off the top of my head. I think it was the video that I just did yesterday. Who cares? So the spiral of integration is when you start noticing things around you that don't quite fit what you want. I'm just going to use an example that I did with my friend the other day where, she trips a lot. And I was talking to her about, saying, oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot when she trips, right? And that's a phrase that she's like, I don't really like that phrase, right? And then later on, stubbing her toe, saying, oh, I'm such an idiot, and saying, wait, that's something that I know I don't want to say in another area. Maybe I don't want to say that here either. Like, I don't really want to feel this way about myself. And what was the common thing there? It was saying that she's an idiot. So, it's coming down, working down from the everyday interactions down to concepts. And, in the concept there, it's, saying that she's an idiot. Well, what does it mean to be an idiot? Why does she think of herself that way? To challenge those concepts and to say, well, I am really capable of thinking things through, and I am really capable of making a difference. Otherwise, I wouldn't even notice that, these things happening was because I'm dumb. I would just be dumb without any introspection, right? Without any ability to look through this and make a judgment about myself, because I'd be too stupid to do it. And then coming down to this bottom core idea that I can't think for myself. That was the core principle that was hurting her, because it was a message that she received repeatedly throughout her life, was that she can't think for herself. And it was in the terms of, you're such an idiot. But that's what it really comes down to. And, I deal with this exact same thing. So maybe I shouldn't have put it in terms of her, because I used to feel really disgusted with myself when I would do things like, I would do really stupid things like, I was over on a date at this guy's house, and he gave me pizza and a soda, and he didn't really have anywhere to put things down. So I put my cup of soda onto his bed and then sat down, and it spilled everywhere. And I knew as I was putting it on his bed, like there was just all these alarms going off in my mind, but I was so, I was in such a crazy place of not being able to care for my own thoughts or listen to my own thoughts, because that had been interrupted so much, and a lot of shame and negativity given to me about making my own judgments, that and I came to realize this as I started to pause and say, oh, let me find a place to put this cup that makes sense, right? That took a lot from me, and like a lot out of me, to start pausing to think of my own thoughts and care about them. And that came down to that principle of saying, I can make my own decisions, and I am my own, authority on that. I don't have to look to others to be able to make basic decisions. Like, that's a very valid little point there. And then as I take that and say, I can make my own decisions, I come back up through the concepts that go around. So, I'm an idiot. I'm so careless. I don't, just different things about what the concepts that would rest on the principle of I can't think. I can start thinking of myself as somebody who's responsible, who's able to take on tasks, who is able to make her own decisions. And I change those concepts that were resting on that basic core principle. And then as it comes back around, I can start seeing instances in my life where before I would have rested on, those moments would have rested on concepts that rested on this principle of I can't think for myself. And because those things have changed, every time that I now encounter a situation where, I need to use my own judgment and think through things according to my own thoughts and not look to others to understand the world around me, I start changing my everyday motions. So that's what the spiral of integration is that, you notice something in your life that you're not happy with or that you want to change. And you start noticing other things that kind of, that mesh with that. And then as you start to see similarities, you bring it down into a concept of like, okay, well, I see some similarities here. What's the concept that's underneath that? And then as you go through the concepts and how they interrelate, you can narrow that down to one specific principle, that radical idea, the to the root, the smallest idea that all of those other things rest on. And then once you've changed that idea and you truly believe it, you'll start to recognize what other concepts relate to that same principle. And as you recognize those concepts and you're thinking it through, you're going to start seeing moments in your life where you're like, oh my goodness, this is changing. My life is changing. I can make new decisions. So the spiral of integration, usually when you talk about a spiral, it's something really negative, spiraling out of control, the downward spiral into depression. This spiral is one that you can think of positively, where, you have surface level ideas, you take them into these core concepts, and then you reduce it down to the individual principle to change your life. I hope this idea of thinking about and caring about things that you notice helps you in your life, and that you can be able to think clearly about that spiral of integration to make it quicker and more streamlined and bring you more efficacy, make your life efficacious, y'all. Do what you intend to do. I'm really excited to think that this message is going to impact somebody else because it's made a huge impact in my life. Namaste, my friends.